Well, UCF's newest quarterback commit, Dante Carr, joins the show. We go through everything from his commitment to being the second quarterback committed in this class. We go through it all in a matter of moments. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Charge On. As always, I am your host, Sean Green. Appreciate you all. Listen, I know we don't like to talk about like extra stuff. This is a UCF podcast. And I know for my audio listeners, you can't see my backdrop. But I moved. I did move, and I have not had time to set up my podcast setup. This is very janky. It looks very bad. But hopefully in the coming weeks, not hopefully by the next week, but in the coming weeks, everything will be set up and ready to go. We do appreciate you tuning in. And like I said, we have Dante Carr joining the show. We got to talk for about 10 to 12 minutes. Basically just breaking down everything, breaking down his commitment, breaking down why UCF. It was a very fast commitment. He got, I think, the offer officially on June 1st, and he committed June 3rd. We went into schools basically looking at him as a tight end and not a quarterback, and why he wanted to come to UCF, not just because of the quarterback offer, but they truly believe in him in the way that Scott Frost and Mackenzie Milton kind of are saying how they will use him. So we get to that in a matter of moments. Just want to say, please like, subscribe, comment, share, do all that you do. We greatly appreciate it. I have been continuously throwing some nuggets about the work we're doing here at Charge On. It's coming very soon. We filmed a couple things last week. I mentioned it. I'm really excited about it. We're going to have announcements here coming in the next couple weeks, maybe even next week. We've got to shore up some stuff behind the scenes, but you're going to have a lot more content coming. I keep mentioning memberships. The memberships are going to change here in the next week because, like I said, content is going to be coming. So if you aren't a member, next week I feel like you're going to want to, because there's a lot of stuff coming into that membership tier that is really going to benefit a Knights fan with more content, more interviews exclusively for members. It's going to be great. So with that being said, let me get you to my interview. Dante Carr joins Charge On right now. And like I said, we have UCF's newest 2026 quarterback commit, Dante Carr. Dante, thank you so much for joining Charge On, man. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I am doing good. Obviously, it's been a crazy week for you. You obviously made your commitment last week. Talk about how much of the weight has been lifted off your shoulders being able to lock in a commitment right now.
Yeah, it's amazing. Be able to lock in a commitment before my senior season. I mean, it's just a huge thing. I go out and play my last year of high school football, and then just know that I have a home come January.
For sure. And I want you to talk about your high school career a little bit. Obviously, you broke out your junior season, having 45 total touchdowns. But I want to hear about your freshman and sophomore year and how you kind of compare it to your junior year. What did you learn in those first 2 years? Obviously, there were some struggles. You had a different kind of offense that you had to adapt to, but how much of it helped you for your junior season?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, going back to my freshman year, the quarterback that year graduated, so the spot was open. It was between me, who was a freshman, and a junior who played receiver for his freshman and sophomore year. So really had a battle there, ended up winning that battle there. We had a really good running back, so obviously didn't get as much touches as I did my junior year. And then come sophomore year, he was a senior. He had I think it was third in the state in rushing yards. So really went back from the pass game. And then he graduated, and my head coach kind of just sat me down and said, it's my team now. I got to take over and passing and running. So just going back to that, I learned so much from all the upperclassmen. And I mean, I'm just so grateful for being that opportunity to produce 45 touchdowns and to be a leader on our football team.
You know, you mentioned it. You kind of got thrust into a leadership role early. How do you think that helped you as you adapted and you grew in your high school career?
Yeah, definitely playing quarterback, you got to be a leader. I was fortunate enough to be a team captain as a sophomore, so it really helped a lot being with all those older kids when I was an underclassman, just to learn from them how they run a team, what they expect. So going into this year, you know, it's like second nature to me.
No doubt. And the process for your commitment kind of happened pretty quick. I kind of want you to go through with it. you got the offer, I think 2 days before you really committed. You started talking to UCF like late May. Kind of talk about the whirlwind last really month that you've had communicating with UCF and then ultimately locking in a fast commitment.
Yeah, it all came out of nowhere. Coach KZ, he followed me on Twitter and then gave me a call. He called my coach, wanted to come see me like as soon as possible. So I got off the phone with him on a Sunday. He was coming Monday. Sunday night, Coach Frost called me, told me how much he loved my film and stuff, and wanted me to get down on a visit. So Coach KZ came to my school that Monday, talked. He saw some videos of me throwing, wanted Coach Frost to see them too. Coach Frost called me, said he wants me to come down on my official visit in June. So then I ended up going there about a week ago. And then, like you said, Tuesday, I made that commitment. It just felt like home.
You said it felt like home. And I think a lot of people that commit to UCF say that. It's a very family-oriented program. Talk about, you mentioned them, Coach Scott Frost, Coach Mackenzie Milton, obviously UCF legends, both of them. Talk about your individual conversations with both of them. What do they like about you? Obviously, they really put the full court press on you to get you to commit at this point. What have they kind of said or reminded you about what they like about you in your play style? But also, how good does it feel that they really put that full court press on you?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing they said to me is they love my athleticism. Just seeing like my basketball highlights or my track clips. They said they love how I could make plays when a play breaks down, like use my legs. But they said the main thing is they just love how much upside I have. A lot of schools started going away from me as a quarterback and started looking at me as a tight end, as an athlete. And they want me to develop. So that was a huge part for me and my family. I'm far from being a fully developed quarterback, and we wanted a program that could really develop me. So when they said that, I just knew that was a coaching staff I wanted to play for.
Now, I was going to ask you about that because UCF fans are accustomed to quarterbacks in their past that maybe schools were overlooking at quarterback. Blake Bortles was being looked at as a tight end. Does that light a fire under you? Obviously, yes, your junior season was incredible. Do you think schools are overlooking because the first 2 years of production maybe don't jump off the page in terms of stats?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that always lit a fire under me. When schools say like, I don't know about quarterback. I mean, I played that since 7th grade. I know I could play quarterback. I know I'd find a coaching staff that could really develop me into being a good quarterback. So that always lit a fire under me. Just try and prove everyone wrong. So once I heard that from Coach Frost and Coach Milton, it really just got me excited.
And you talk about Coach Frost and Coach Milton. I know you talked about, again, them putting that full court press on you as a quarterback. Does it kind of give you listen, you seem like a very confident kid, but does it even give you that much more confidence that an offensive guru like Coach Scott Frost and then Mackenzie Milton, who arguably could be the best quarterback in UCF history, come to you and say, listen, and again, they already have a quarterback committed, and they are coming to you saying, we want you as a quarterback, we believe in you, we love your athleticism. Doesn't that give you, even though all those other schools says, we want you to play tight end, we want you to be an athlete, you have some pretty good offensive mind saying, we believe in you at quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, his track record, shows it. He coached Marcus Mariota, he coached Justin Herbert, Coach KZ. I mean, he develops quarterbacks. I mean, a lot of those guys weren't 5-star, 4-star quarterbacks. So, I mean, to have a coaching staff like that, have that much faith in me, it just gets me so excited and makes my confidence go up so much.
Now, you're a young kid. Tell me more about what you knew about Coach Scott Frost and Mackenzie Milton before coming to UCF. Do you remember the 2017, 2018 era for UCF? And what do you remember about Coach Milton as a quarterback, but also just watching those teams?
Yeah, I mean, from Coach Milton, he was a baller in college. I remember watching him play in 2017, 2018. I mean, he could make plays. He was a baller. And then Coach Frost, I mean, he was a quarterback in college, 97 national champion at Nebraska. I mean, I knew that they know how to play quarterback. So, I mean, just knowing that, you have two great quarterbacks in the coaching staff, I mean, it's just huge who can develop you into being a great passer. And, I mean, that was a huge part for me. And then Coach KZ, I mean, he was a baller at UCF. I mean, everyone knows that. Like you said, he's probably one of the best, if not the best, quarterback in school history. So to have a quarterback coach that coached or played in the program, be able to coach you, I mean, that's just a huge plus to it.
Now, a lot of quarterbacks get asked this question, and I do like to ask it because, again, like you said, you're very athletic. A lot of schools like that athleticism at quarterback. When you have a quarterback like you, makes it very hard on defenses. So who have you envisioned and looked up to and kind of modeled your game after at the position?
A quarterback who I always, I watch his highlights before every game. Someone who I want to play like on the field is Johnny Manziel. I mean, he played that daredevil football. He wasn't scared of nothing. He went out and made plays when he had to. I mean, I've always wanted to play like him, just fast, tempo, exciting. And then right now, I mean, Josh Allen, I feel like he was in my shoes. He was under-recruited. He one offer, and then, I mean, he's tall, athletic, makes plays, and I mean, I look up to him as well.
You've watched a lot of videos, I'm sure, of the Scott Frost offense and how it runs and how it operates. What excites you about potentially being in a system like that under Scott Frost?
I mean, just how fast tempo it is and how exciting and big plays. I mean, they're arguably one of the best offenses there is with Coach Frost. So, I mean, just seeing how fast tempo, exciting plays, how much movement's in it. I mean, it's super exciting to watch, and I can't wait to play for it.
Now, Kane Archer has also committed to UCF at the quarterback position. I think in college football nowadays, it is very rare for two quarterbacks to be committed in the same cycle to a school. Have you had those conversations? Have you talked to Kane about, potentially being teammates? And did that kind of sway you a little bit to be like, I get it, this is my only quarterback offer, but there is another quarterback committed? Is that something that you kind of pondered with?
Yeah, I got to talk to Kane a little bit. I mean, he's a dog. He could play football. I mean, you can watch his highlights. They talk for themselves. I mean, to be in a quarterback room with another player in your position, most kids may be scared of that. But I mean, I always believed in iron sharpens iron. So, I mean, you have another great quarterback, you're competing every day. I mean, it just gets everyone better. And it gives the coaching staff a hard decision. So, I mean, I'm just excited for it to go out and compete every day with someone who's as good as Kane. Super hyped for it.
And that's a really good answer. And I do appreciate that because I think a lot of, players nowadays don't want to compete. They want to be able to go into a situation and have basically that year locked up where they are the guy. So I think both of you being able to be mature about that and say, listen, we want to be teammates. We want to make each other better. But going into that, we want to make the team better. And then whoever comes out of it, is going to be the best teammate for the other. So I really like that. And I think, again, you both see the situation that's going on. You see the opportunity. I think for both of you, that should be really exciting.
Absolutely.
You talk about, being committed and getting committed. In this day and age, obviously, I think it's a fair question. Being committed means nothing until it is signed on the dotted line. How committed are you? Are you going to be taking any more visits in the next coming months? Are you still keeping your options open, or are you kind of really shutting this down?
It's completely shut down. I'm 1,000% locked in. I had some official visits lined up. I canceled all those, but I'm fully locked in. Like I said before, I think Coach Frost and Coach KZ are the two best people that could develop me into being a quarterback. And me and my family, we're totally committed to UCF.
Are you going to be enrolling in January? Are you going to be a spring entry?
I'll be January. I'll be enrolling.
Awesome. Are you making any trips? Obviously, I'm sure you just took an OV. Are you going to be making any trips during the season to any games, making plans right now?
Absolutely. We're looking into a game day visit. I'm hoping to go to the North Carolina game. They said that place is going to be rocking, so I'm hoping to be able to go that with my football schedule, but I'll definitely be there to at least one game.
That game is going to be insane. I think a lot of us are expecting it. And again, once you experience the bounce house, you made the right decision. You'll see it and you'll be like, yeah, this is the place for me. And you already know that. So committing this early right after the offer says a lot about you and how you look at this place. But Dante, last question. Just want you to kind of give your message to Knights fans and kind of what they're going to be expecting and looking forward to you suiting up for the Knights.
You're going to get someone who's going to come compete every day and someone who hates to lose. I could care less about stats. I'd rather have 4 passing attempts in a win than 700 yards in a win. So I'm coming in ready to win, ready to compete right from the start.
Dante, I appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
What a great interview. What a great kid, Dante Carr, the latest and newest commitment to the Knights 2026 class. I do want to talk about this really quick. Because I think recently, and we talked about the 2026 class a couple weeks ago, and I said, listen, you have to look at the recruiting angle differently than you did with Gus. And we went into a whole spiel about it. UCF is starting to pick up some steam. There's a couple 4-stars that UCF is in on. There's a couple 4-stars that I think are going to be UCF commits in a matter of days, weeks. So I am now optimistic. And I've been hearing and I've been talking to some people behind the scenes, and everybody, and when I'm able, like, again, some of the stuff we're announcing, I'm going to be able to talk about. But everything is so positive. So positive. And I think for UCF fans, there's always these questions of like, what's it like? What's going on? Is the team going in the right direction? ESPN FPI has UCF 8th. We can talk about that next week. But everybody's like picking UCF to go last. But also the people picking UCF to go last don't really know what's going on. And they don't have a good vibe of what's going on behind the scenes. And I'll tell you something. I am more confident than ever that UCF is going to have a positive, successful season because of what I'm hearing from people. I think people are reinvigorated, they're re-energized, and I think Scott Frost and his staff are doing an excellent job right now with the players and implementing what they want to do. I can't say more than that until, stuff comes out. But I am really excited for what Scott Frost and the staff are doing in the recruiting area. And listen, Dante Carr, he came on, he said, I've shut down, I'm not going on any other official visits, I'm locked in. And I do believe him. And same thing with Kane Archer. Kane Archer said the same thing on many different platforms. He said, my commitment's locked, I'm not going anywhere. We will see when January hits, or when December, November hit. Like, if they end up signing on the dotted line. Because I said, and I told him, I respect it. I respect a quarterback saying, I don't care that there's another quarterback committed. And by all accounts, Kane Archer has more offers. He's only been offered as a quarterback. He's got a lot more Power 4 offers than Dante Carr does. But Dante Carr believes in his game. And I'm going to be honest, if I'm Kane Archer and I see Scott Frost and Mackenzie Milton pushing hard for this kid, Dante Carr was sought after. Scott Frost and Mackenzie Milton clearly like what they see out of Dante Carr. So I think for UCF fans, you're going to have 2 quarterbacks that get to compete if they sign on the dotted line. And I think if you're Dante Carr, what do you have to lose? Everybody wants you to play tight end. Everybody's coming to you and saying, play tight end, play tight end. And he's like, no, I want to play quarterback. And UCF is giving him that opportunity. So he's going to be able to come in here and prove that he's a quarterback. He said he's been playing quarterback basically since he started playing football. So I think for the 2026 class, if they can get these 2 quarterbacks to sign on the dotted line, I think that is perfect for this new Scott Frost era to find a guy. You have 2 chances, especially in that 2026 class, to find a guy. And Dante Carr might be that guy. We will see. At the end of the day, we got to make it to November, December. We got to sign him on the dotted line, but really like the kid, and I appreciate him for stopping by and talking with me for a little bit. All right, everybody, that's going to do it. Short episode of Charger On this week. It's mainly the interview. Wanted to get that to you. Again, like I said, we'll be announcing some stuff here in the next couple weeks. I keep mentioning it, more so just because I'm excited about it. Want to keep you guys know that it's coming. But we've got exciting stuff on the horizon. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Do all that you do. We greatly appreciate it. This has been Charge On. We will see you next week.